spot? Are we going to go to the north one? Yeah. Okay. Go. Get some fish. There's some under a sow, or is that some other sort of fish? Shit fish. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are a long way offshore again. We're about 25 kilometres off the east side of Moreton Island in you know, the regular spots that we come out to here. The structure out here is sort of reefy, very low reef, sort of rubbly reefs, and we're always after the snapper or kingfish or amberjack, that sort of fish. Good table fish to take home and eat. And today there's quite a few of us out here today. We haven't had such a nice day for a long time. That sort of landed on a weekend, so there's quite a few of us jet ski fishers out here today. We have James, we have Mark, we had Shayne's out again. Shayne's one of the regulars out here, and of course Steve and Shayne always seem to go out on their adventures together. And hopefully we'll get some snapper today, and stick around and I'll show you the highlights.
Was something big.
Small. Yeah, little tiny snapper. That's the baby. Tiny. Very tiny. Yep. I think it's very big again. Just another small one. Another smallie. Trying to ski around. It'll be bigger. Good. Little one. Way too small, fella. You're gone. Alright, so we're on. Still not super big. So very small snapper or something. Not putting up much of a fight now. It's alright. It's alright. She's legal snapper. Pilchard float lining.
Okay.
Didn't put up much of a fight for a reasonable size. It's got to be 50 or something.
Yeah.
There we go. I actually got one in the bag. It's a about 55. 60 to the tail, 55 to the fork, and yeah, a couple of nice fillets on that little baby. All we're doing is floating a pilchard down, lightly weighted. We're in quite deep water here, so it's going to take a long time to get to the bottom, which is sort of what I want. I want it to sort of waft through the water column, and then see if we can find some of the bigger fish that are, feeding. In the sounder today, there's not a big showing of like a big concentrated school. So normally also, when I'm float lining, sometimes I just hover over the top of the bait and make sure that it's getting down there. But as I said, they're scattered through the water column. They're probably a bit spooked by all the boats too, so I'm letting it drift right out this time. I don't know, it seems to be working so far. I've got 2 snapper in a short time, so no expert on snapper, but some of these techniques seem to, they seem to be working for me, so I'll keep doing them while they're working. Now James is over there. He's got a FXHO, I think it's a 23 model, and his transducer's flicked up. So when you put a transducer in the rear of these skis, they do suffer. Well, they're under a lot of pressure. I wouldn't say they suffer, but they're under a lot of pressure when you're driving, and you really need to have those bolts tightened on your mount. They do flick up, and it happened to me on my first ski quite regularly, and I have this sort of maintenance routine now where I'll go around and I'll tighten up those bolts, every month or so. I'll make sure that they're still tight.
Steve.
That was Shayne on the radio. He's talking to Steve. We've all got 25 watt VHFs, because out here, the swell, the distance we're travelling, it's handheld is pretty well useless, except maybe line of sight. What I'm looking for is my spool is going out. It's pretty hard to see, but my spool's slowly going out. And what will happen is when a fish takes it, that will just rapidly accelerate, because the fish will grab it and swim off to get away from other fish. And so sometimes it feels like it's about to go, but if you put your thumb gently on it, you'll know when it takes off if you're not watching it. Here comes the fish now.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit bigger, this one. Oh,
This could be all right. Good old float lining, never fails. There's some fish around. Always good. It feels like a snapper. We do like a good snapper. Might be about the same size as that last one. He's just a bit more spirited. That last one was a bit lazy, I think. Yeah, it's not huge, but table size is all we need. Here we go. What do we got? Yeah, some of the nice fish. Oh, these are nice fish. Oh, yes. Oh. Yes, very happy. Now that's a nice one. It's got to be in the 60s. Yes. Just hold on to it and I'll show you why it's nice and fresh. Holding on tight, holding on tight. How big is it? I might calm him down a bit. It's only, what time is it? It's not even 10 AM yet, and the water's starting to really glass off. I think it's a little bit choppy in the morning here. The weather patterns we get around here are, this time of year, pretty much all summer, to tell you the truth, is overnight the land is cooler than the sea. So what happens is you get a bit of wind coming from the westerly side. I'm on the east coast of Australia, so you get the westerly winds pushing out into the sea. So we're a little bit choppy in the morning when we come out. And then around about, I don't know, 10 AM, 11 AM, as the land heats up, depending on the day, the wind sort of will drop right off and it'll glass off here. And then eventually, if it's hot enough and the conditions are right, you'll actually get a northeast breeze coming in, a sea breeze, which, it's not ideal fishing the old northeast, but not much you can do about it. I think today we're not going to get over 10 knots, so it could glass right off and be a really beautiful day for the rest of the day. Now, fishing reels, now that's a subject I quite often see in the Facebook groups, people asking what reels should we get for jet ski fishing. You know, you've got to be honest with yourself that the cheaper reels don't last very long out here in the salt water, and particularly if you're not covering them, they'll last a very short time, because when you're riding a jet ski, the blasting effect of the salt water as you're riding really penetrates into your reels. So that's why I use covers. People say just buy a pen slammer. Yep, sure, you can do that, but then you're sort of limiting yourself to one type of reel. And for this sort of work, you know, the float lining, I love the line just to pull off nice and evenly and smoothly. So I use overheads for that. That's again why we use covers around the reel covers around the reels, just to keep that salt off when we're traveling. The reels will still get wet, you know, when you're fishing. It's just the splash and things, but they normally can withstand that. And some of the better seal reels, of course, will do a great job of that. You can dunk them in the water. You know, again, the pen slammers and the Saragosas and the more expensive reels are well sealed. But as I said, I don't like limiting myself to one type of reel. I'll use a spinning for certain things and a spin reel for certain things, and I'll use an overhead for most of the boat activities that I use. You know, this is actually a really good multi-purpose. It's actually a Offshore jigger, but it's caught so many snapper, you know, not jigging. So it's a lot easier doing this sort of float lining with an overhead reel. Now, the fish I don't think are really biting at the moment. There's a few fish around, but I think we're seeing a bit of pearl perch actually, and they're not normally taking the float lining stuff. They like a bit of activity, a bit of motion seems to fire them up. And maybe I'll have to switch to jigs and I might get a bit more action. Come on, fish. Yeah. Very big though. Might be another one of these small ones. No, it's not that big. Very small. You can go back. Looking for your big brother. Plenty of fish in the water column. The mark's on the soft plastic.
Just when you think, eh? Just when you think nothing's happening.
And nothing's happening. Yeah, they might start biting now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was at 10 o'clock was high time.
Looks reasonable size too, doesn't it?
Ages. This is the replacement for my other one. This
Oh, okay.
is a jewel, and it's a slow jig, so it's really floppy and really bendy. I always have a problem with the line wrapping around the end.
Got that up yet? Oh, here it comes. Yeah, it's a nice snapper. Oh, it's a good snapper.
Oh, no.
Yes, it's a very good snapper. About 60. 55.
Look at that. Its mouth. It's a mollusk.
Plastics. Hey. Yeah, probably in the 50s, hey?
The spots are so almost fluorescent, right?
What's that?
The spots on the blue spots are almost so fluorescent.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Alright, I'll go and find some more fish, I think.
Oh no! Did me? Did me? Oh, they find your weak points in your line, don't they?
It's like about a 70, 75.
Yeah, probably. Oh no, it's 65. Let's go.
Oh, it's definitely bigger than 60.
75.
Yeah, 75. Get it.
Good start to play.
Yeah.
Watch me drop it.
Hey, hold on tight.
Steve, are you guys both jigging? Both you and Paul.
Not this time, eh? Oh, there we go. Yep. Up the water column. Kingy. At least he's up the water column. He's not going to do me on the bottom again. Coming up. What is it? Amberjack or kingy? Be nice if it's a big snapper. Kingy, baby. The dolphins come to have a look. Look at the dolphins, huge. That's the baby. That's the baby. Let's put him back. What's going on here? There we go. Oh. Ah. Ah. Another small one. Buddy, I'll get your way. Sit still. Well, the weather has turned to near perfect. Unfortunately, the fish have all disappeared. There's not much on the sounder now, and haven't had a bite for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, so we might call it quits and go back soon, I think. But thanks for coming back to the channel. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Always helps us out. And if you've got any questions, feel free to put it beneath the video there, and I'll try to answer your questions. And thank you again for coming back, and I'll see you next time.